warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is me, Dr. Ibrahim Shinnawi, welcoming you to our lecture here in our course Modern Drama. And until now, we finished 11 lectures. Today, inshallah, we're going to start our 12th lecture. And as you still remember that starting from lecture 11, 12, and 13, inshallah, we will focus and analyze the text under study, that play A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen. We started analyzing the text in the previous lecture, lecture number 11, and today we are still doing the same thing. We finished already analyzing Act 1, and now we are in Act 2. Act 2, A Doll's House, and you know that Henrik Ibsen is the writer, the dramatist, the author of this play. And Helmer, of course, if only this obstinate little person can get her way. Do you suppose I'm going to make myself ridiculous before my whole staff to let people think that I'm a man to be swayed by all sorts of inside influence? Now, as you know, and refreshing your memory about what happened before this dialogue between Helmer and Noura, we know that Noura got a loan from a bank from someone called Krogstad. And she got that money because she wanted to save the life of her husband, who was seriously ill at that time. And the doctors advised her to take him to Italy, to a warmer place, in order to save his life. Noura did this, but there was a problem, as you still remember, that she needed the money quickly. And there was one condition, that she must find someone to be responsible for paying the money if she is not able to do this. And Noura chose her father to do this, and Krogstad gave her the papers to sign from her father. Her father at that time was also seriously ill, and he was not living with Noura in the same town. So Noura could not leave her sick husband and go to her sick father to sign the papers, and there was no time for this. So that's why she signed the loan instead of him. And this is called forgery. And forgery is considered as a crime in front of law. So Krogstad discovered this. He discovered that it was not Noura's father who signed the papers. And he knew this because of the date. The father died on the 29th of September, but the papers were signed on the 2nd of October, which means that these papers were signed after the death of Noura's father, 3 days, after 3 days of his death. And of course, this is impossible. How can, as he told her, how can a dead man sign these papers? Now, Krogstad felt that Helmer, who is now the manager of the same bank in which Krogstad is working, he felt that Helmer will dismiss him. Why? Because of maybe his bad reputation. He's also he had the same problem of forgery, and there was like a case for him. He was about to be in prison, so he felt that Helmer is intending and planning to dismiss him out of the bank. So he came to Noura to tell her, to ask for her help to convince Helmer not to do this, not to dismiss him out of the bank. Noura tried to do this, tried to convince Helmer to keep him in the bank, but Helmer was completely against this. Why he was against this? As we said, that he has his own reasons. We mentioned two reasons. The first one is the bad reputation, as we said, that people know that he is not a good person. So definitely Helmer does not want someone who has bad reputation to be in the bank, because definitely that will affect in general the reputation of the whole bank. So it's better to get rid of him. This is one reason. The second reason is that Helmer and Krogstad were close friends during their boyhood. When they were boys, they were very close and intimate friends. But they separated for a long time, and when they met again, they were in two different positions. Krogstad is in just a small post or a small position, while Helmer is the manager of the bank. But Krogstad is still dealing with Helmer the same as if they were still friends, intimate friends. So he called him with, his Christian name, and not showing respect in front, in dealing with him in front of the other employees. He is dealing with him in an informal way in the bank. Of course, Helmer did not like this. Why? Because this will make him lose control over the other employees in the bank, and also it will make the other employees not to respect him. And people will think that Helmer is like his partner in these suspicious matters. So that's why he wants to get rid of him. He wants to dismiss him out of the bank. Now, so we mentioned two reasons. Now we have another reason, this one that you have in front of you. What's this one? This one is that if now the whole bank, the whole staff in the bank knew that Helmer wants to dismiss Krogstad of the bank. Now, if Helmer changes this decision to dismiss Krogstad out of the bank, people will think, as he mentioned here, that he changed his mind, his decision, because of outside influence. Outside influence, of course, he means here his wife. So if he changed his decision, the employees in the bank will think that he did this because his wife affected him. And during that time, this is something, this is considered as a kind of weakness in the character of the husband. So he does not want the others to say about him that he is a weak husband, someone who is led and dominated by his wife. So this is something that would affect him, and that would put shame on him. So I should very soon feel the consequences of it. I can tell you, and beside, there is one thing that makes it quite impossible for me to have Krogstad in the bank as long as I am a manager. So for these three reasons, he wants to dismiss Krogstad out of the bank. Poor Nora is trying hard. She is trying hard to convince him not to dismiss him out of the bank. Nora, whatever is that, Helmer, his moral failings I might perhaps have overlooked if necessary. Now, even he is Krogstad is morally corrupted. So Helmer did not like his morals, the morals of Krogstad. So he said that even if he has some good morals, he might think about it. But the problem, even his morals are very bad. Yes, you couldn't you? And then Helmer, and I hear he is a good worker too. But I knew him when we were boys. It was one of those rash friendship. This is one of the things that he is mentioning here.